6 lucky numbers to win big and get rich on Thursday, May 15th, 2025. Buddhist Teachings. On May 15th, 2025, 6 lucky numbers may carry more than just chance. They may hold the spiritual frequency of abundance itself. Rooted in Buddhist wisdom, these numbers are not random. They're signs, energetic signals that can align your intentions with the universe's natural flow. In Buddhism, nothing is separate. Numbers carry meaning, energy, and purpose. When the right ones appear, they can guide us toward clarity, opportunity, and even unexpected wealth. In this video, we'll uncover 6 powerful numbers believed to be charged with cosmic energy on this special Thursday. Stay to the end for a secret bonus number, a spiritual amplifier for luck and alignment. Before we begin, take a mindful breath. Like, subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom, and comment, "I welcome abundance." Let's unlock the numbers and the insight they hold. 1. Number 9. On Thursday, May 15th, 2025, if you begin to notice the number 9 appearing more often than usual, on a receipt, your phone screen, or even during your daily commute, it's not mere coincidence. In Buddhist thought, nothing truly happens by accident. All things are interconnected. The number 9 is not just a digit. It is a gentle yet profound messenger, a symbol of spiritual completion and the readiness for new beginnings. In the Dhammapada, it is said, "As a flower that is lovely and beautiful, but is scentless, even so fruitless is the well-spoken word of one who practices it not." The number 9 reminds us that the true value lies not just in what we say or pursue, but in how we live with intent. Just as a flower must release its fragrance, our lives must exude purpose. When 9 shows up again and again, it often means we are standing at the edge of transformation, closing an old chapter, not with regret, but with the wisdom we've gathered along the way. It's like the final step in a journey where we finally understand that the climb was never about reaching the top, but about who we became through the effort. Take inspiration from Arjun, a long-time follower of Buddhist teachings, who was caught in a cycle of burnout and dissatisfaction. When the number 9 repeatedly crossed his path, he saw it as more than coincidence. It was a wake-up call. Rather than overhaul his life overnight, he simply began with stillness. A few minutes of meditation, journaling, and saying no to what drained him became the seeds of a quieter clarity. Gradually, this clarity invited new opportunities, not forced, but flowing naturally. And this is exactly what number 9 teaches: to pause, to observe, and to make space. Life in today's world moves quickly, often so fast that we confuse motion with progress. But 9 invites us to stop merely surviving and start consciously living. It urges us to release old patterns, be it a limiting belief, an unfulfilling job, or a stagnant relationship, and to trust the sacred cycle of renewal. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence is not a threat. It's a promise that nothing stays stuck forever. So the next time 9 appears before you, take a breath and reflect. Are you clinging to what no longer nourishes your spirit? Are you walking a path that honors your truth? If doubt creeps in, let that be your cue. The universe may not speak in thunder. It often whispers through signs, and number 9 is one such whisper. A sacred signal inviting you to rise into a higher version of your life, Keep your heart open, for the next number may carry the abundance you've long been ready to receive. 2. Number 17. Let's take a closer look at the quiet power of number 17 as we step into Thursday, May 15th, 2025. A day full of potential and energy for those who are open to deeper understanding. Number 17 doesn't shout to be noticed. It gently stirs your soul, like the hush of dawn before the world wakes. It isn't about racing ahead, it's about returning to yourself. In a world where we're constantly pushed to hustle harder, achieve faster, and shine brighter, 17 offers a different path. It invites you to pause, breathe, and ask, am I chasing this because it's true to me or because I think I should? This is where Buddhist wisdom speaks loudest, not in noise, but in stillness. The Buddha once said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth." And that's the message 17 carries. A reminder that what you truly seek isn't always found in more, but often in less noise, less pressure, less pretending. Let me share a story. There was once a young monk who desperately wanted enlightenment. He fasted, meditated endlessly, even pushed his body to the brink. One day, an elder monk saw his struggle and said, "When you tighten a string too much, it breaks. When you leave it too loose, it doesn't play. The middle way is where the music lives." That middle way is 17. It's the number that brings you back to balance. Instead of blindly pursuing success, it invites you to walk mindfully toward purpose. Not because it looks good from the outside, but because it feels right on the inside. So on this Thursday, ask yourself, what kind of success am I really after? Is it the kind that fills your bank account but empties your heart, or the kind that fills your soul and brings peace when you lay your head down at night? 17 encourages you to set intentions that are true to your inner self, goals that align with your values and nourish your well-being. Remember, just like a mountain climber finds meaning not in the summit but in the journey, your success lies in each mindful step you take. Let 17 be your quiet guide, not a lucky charm, but a spiritual checkpoint, gently redirecting you when life starts to feel off course. When your goals feel aligned with who you truly are, everything changes. Your energy lifts, your stress lightens, and even setbacks begin to feel like part of the path, not the end of it. 3. Number 3. On Thursday, May 15th, 2025, I want to share something meaningful with you. Number 3. It may seem simple, but it carries a deep, joyful energy that can awaken your confidence, creativity, and true self. In Buddhism, this connects to right speech, reminding us that words spoken with honesty and kindness can transform not only our lives, but also those around us. Number 3 vibrates with playful wisdom. It's the laughter that heals, the courage to speak your truth, and the light that shines when you stop hiding. In numerology, it aligns with Jupiter, the planet of growth and abundance, urging you to embrace your voice and live boldly, not for ego, but from the heart. The Buddha once said, "Your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart to give yourself to it." So let me ask you, what part of you is still waiting for permission to shine? Number 3 invites you to stop waiting. This moment is sacred. Whether you're sharing your voice, creating art, or simply being honest, now is the time. 3 also honors the 3 jewels. The Buddha the Dharma and the Sangha. It's a symbol of wholeness, not perfection, reminding us that when we live with presence and compassion, we create lasting happiness. So, as we continue toward more lucky numbers for this special Thursday, stay open, because the real fortune lies in showing up as your truest self. You've made it this far. Clearly, you're ready to receive the wisdom and luck the universe has to offer. Type "Open to Abundance" in the comments to show you're ready to welcome wealth with mindfulness. Keep watching. Your lucky numbers and deeper insights rooted in Buddhist teachings are just ahead. 4. Number 22. Let's explore a number that doesn't just bring a flash of luck. It plants deep roots and gives rise to a future built with care and clarity. That number is 22, and on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, its energy carries a unique blessing: the power to create lasting success through mindful effort. Unlike fleeting chances that fade as quickly as they appear, 22 offers a rare kind of luck, the kind that asks you to build, to trust the process, and to bring your inner visions into physical form. It's the number of the master builder, blending spiritual insight with practical action. In Buddhist thought, this is the middle path, the harmony between wisdom and effort, between being and doing. As the Buddha once said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." The number 22 honors this truth by reminding us that right thought must be followed by right action if we are to create something meaningful and enduring. Perhaps you've had moments lately where the life you desire seems more like a foggy dream than a reachable reality. But the energy of 22 cuts through that fog with calm precision. It doesn't promise easy wins, but it does offer structure, patience, and discipline. Qualities deeply respected in both Buddhist teachings and in the ancient symbolism of Saturn, the planet associated with responsibility and time-earned wisdom. Saturn challenges us, yes, but only so we grow stronger. In this way, 22 mirrors the Buddha's teaching that suffering can be a doorway to awakening if met with clarity and courage. As Zen Master Dogen once said, "A flower falls even though we love it, and a weed grows even though we do not love it." Life isn't always what we expect, but 22 teaches us that what we build with love and purpose will outlast the storms. This is a moment to pause, breathe, and reconnect with your deepest intentions. Whether you're navigating a midlife change, launching a passion project, or seeking more stability in your day-to-day life, 22 whispers, "Don't rush, but don't wait." Take steady steps. Lay one strong foundation at a time. Real wealth, inner and outer, grows not from wishing, but from walking your path with mindfulness. And if you've felt scattered or uncertain, now is the time to ground yourself. Look at your plans, not with pressure, but with purpose. As we approach May 15th, let this number be your guide, not a wild hope, but a well-built road. And as we say in the Dhamma, drop by drop is the water pot filled. In the same way, each action taken with intention becomes a brick in the sacred home of your future. 5. Number 23. Aganda says, "Nugi, del kinki." Number 23. Let's now turn our attention to a number that quietly pulses with boldness and spiritual courage. Number 23. This Thursday, May 15th, 2025, If the number 23 keeps showing up in your life, in a receipt total, a time on your screen, or even a license plate, don't brush it off. This isn't just chance. It's a meaningful whisper from the universe encouraging you to expand, to break through the boundaries you've set for yourself, and to breathe life into the dreams you've been delaying. When you're feeling stuck in routine or weighed down by self-doubt, 23 comes as a reminder. You are not here to live small. In the light of Buddhist wisdom, we learn that life moves best when we don't cling too tightly. And number 23 carries that same energy, inviting you to loosen your grip, let go of fear-based thinking, and welcome the flow of the unknown. This is the number of freedom, creativity, and soulful alignment. It urges you to stop holding yourself back with what-ifs and start asking, what lights me up? Let your actions come from authenticity, not obligation. When you begin to live from that place, unfiltered, present, joyful, you stop pushing and start attracting. The people, opportunities, and paths that truly resonate with your essence begin to find you, because you're no longer pretending or performing. Think for a moment. How much of your day is spent trying to meet expectations that don't reflect your heart's true desire? Number 23 says, it's time to lighten that load, not by giving up, but by shifting your approach. From pressure to presence, from control to trust. There's a Zen proverb that says, let go or be dragged. Let that sink in. What are you still holding on to that's actually holding you back? This Thursday is your invitation to release it, even if it's just one small thing. Start the project you've been dreaming about. Say yes to something new. Laugh even in uncertainty. These are not small acts. They are steps towards spiritual freedom. So what will you choose to let go of today? And what might open up when you do? The message of 23 is clear. Trust your rhythm. Move from your center and let life meet you with grace, not resistance. Remember, courage doesn't mean having no fear. It means showing up anyway, with your heart open and your spirit light. 6. Number 44. Let's take a moment together and explore the deeper meaning behind the number 44, especially as we approach Thursday, May 15th, 2025, a day that carries powerful energy for growth, clarity, and abundance. This isn't about magical thinking or chasing overnight wealth. It's about tapping into something steady, sacred, and quietly transformative. 44 isn't loud or flashy. It's like the still strength of a mountain or the soft rhythm of your breath. In Buddhist wisdom, this quiet strength is often the most powerful kind. As the Buddha once said, a jug fills drop by drop. The number 44 invites you to trust those drops, the small steps you take every day, the ones no one sees but you. It carries what numerologists call master builder energy, the ability to create long-lasting results through patience, discipline, and mindful effort. So let me ask you, where in your life are you building something that matters? Maybe it's your career, your relationships, your emotional well-being, or even your spiritual path. Wherever it is, this number is reminding you, don't rush the process. Stay present. Stay grounded. And in this month of shifting energy, when life may feel uncertain or overwhelming, the appearance of 44 is like a gentle hand on your back, encouraging you to keep going. This is not a number of luck in the traditional sense. It's a symbol of trust. Trust in your steps, even the small ones. Trust that what you build with heart and effort will stand strong, like a temple laid brick by brick. And yes, If you've been noticing 44 on clocks, receipts, or random places, don't brush it off. In the Buddhist tradition, signs often come in quiet ways. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, smile, breathe, and go slowly. That is the rhythm of this number. So, what are you being called to nurture slowly? What foundation are you laying now for a more peaceful, prosperous future? 44 tells you that the wealth worth having, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, comes from aligned actions taken consistently. To anchor this energy in your day, try repeating this simple affirmation. I create with purpose, I grow with patience, I build a future grounded in peace. Let this be your mantra when doubt creeps in. Let it be your quiet strength. Because the journey to something meaningful isn't always loud, but with faith and steady hands, you can build a life that truly lasts. What will you begin to build today? Even if it's just one small brick. Still here? That means your spirit is open and your heart is ready for transformation. Drop a fortune flows in the comments to claim your path to wealth this Thursday. Stay with us. These lucky numbers aren't just chance. They're aligned with timeless wisdom. How to get rid of money anxiety. Advice from Buddhism. Money anxiety is very real in today's world, and it's something almost everyone experiences at some point. Whether it's fear of not having enough, guilt about spending, or constant pressure to earn more. From a Buddhist perspective, the root of this anxiety isn't money itself, but our attachment to it, and the craving and fear that surround it. Here's how Buddhism can help you calm money anxiety and find a healthier, more peaceful relationship with wealth. Number 1. Recognize impermanence. Anicca. On this day, May 9th, let us reflect on a gentle yet powerful truth that Buddhism offers, the nature of impermanence, or anicca. This teaching invites us to see clearly that all things, including money, wealth, and even the stress we attach to them, are not fixed or forever. In modern life, where financial pressures can feel relentless, whether it's worrying about bills, savings, or the future, this truth might seem unsettling at first. Yet it is actually a doorway to peace. Buddhism reminds us that nothing we own or achieve is permanent, and that includes both gain and loss. As the Buddha wisely said, nothing is to be clung to as I or mine. When we internalize this, we begin to loosen our grip on the fear that money controls our safety or self-worth. Many people today feel anxiety not just because they lack money, but because they believe it defines their value or guarantees their future. But when we embrace impermanence, we begin to respond differently, not with panic, but with perspective. Take a moment and consider everything you have right now, your job, your bank account, your possessions, has changed before and will change again. That's not a failure, it's simply the flow of life. As the river flows, so does fortune. Instead of trying to dam the river, we can learn to navigate it skillfully. This mindset doesn't mean we become careless or indifferent about money. Rather, we stop letting it dominate our inner peace. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness." So when the waves of financial worry rise, instead of drowning in them, we can gently say to ourselves, "This is temporary. I can face this moment with calm and clarity." Just that awareness shifts us from reaction to response, from fear to faith. Not blind faith, but faith grounded in the truth of change. In today's fast-paced world where people check bank apps more often than their own breath, it becomes essential to anchor ourselves in a deeper reality. If you're 30, maybe you're thinking about starting a family or buying a home. If you're 50 or 60, retirement may feel closer than you're ready for. These transitions often bring financial uncertainty, but impermanence tells us no condition lasts forever, including anxiety that passes just like the seasons. And while we prepare, plan, and work hard, which Buddhism encourages, we also learn not to tie our inner peace to an outer number. You are not your paycheck. You are not your savings. You are the awareness behind it all. This insight helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and make wiser decisions without fear clouding your mind. And so, with every anxious thought about money, we have a chance to come back to the present moment and say, yes, things change, and I can meet this change with wisdom. The Japanese Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "All of us tend to put faith in something outside ourselves, but it is the courage to look within that brings true confidence." In this way, the Buddhist teaching of impermanence becomes not just a concept, but a friend, a quiet companion reminding us that it's okay to let go, okay to trust the unfolding, and most of all, okay to live with less fear. Financial well-being begins not with more money, but with more understanding, and in that understanding, we find something priceless: peace. Number 2, reduce craving, tanha. Let's take a deep breath together today, on May 9th, and look gently at one of the most subtle but powerful sources of our money anxiety: craving, or what the Buddha called tanha. It's not just about the need for money to survive, which is natural and necessary. It's about that restless hunger inside, the constant desire for more, the worry that we don't have enough, or the fear that we might lose what we've already got. This craving turns money from a tool into a source of stress and suffering. Buddhism doesn't say that money is bad. Instead, it reminds us that our relationship with money becomes unhealthy when it's driven by endless wanting. The Buddha taught that real peace doesn't come from having more, it comes from wanting less. And here's a truth we can all reflect on: contentment is the greatest wealth. Dhamma. Think about that for a moment. What if you're already richer than you believe, not because of what's in your bank account, but because of the peace in your heart when you stop comparing, stop chasing, and start appreciating? When we shift our attention from what's missing to what's already here, something inside us softens. This is where santuti, or contentment, comes in. Buddhism encourages us to live simply, not as a punishment or sacrifice, but as a way to rediscover freedom. What happens when you pause and ask yourself, do I really need this, or do I just want it? That small question has the power to bring great clarity. When we live by our true needs and not our cravings, life becomes lighter, and money stops being a monster lurking in the back of our minds. One gentle way to start is to make gratitude a daily habit. You don't need a fancy journal or a long list. Just a moment in the morning or before bed to say thank you for what you already have: your health, a safe place to sleep, a kind word from someone you love. These are forms of wealth too. Can you feel how acknowledging these things calms the nervous system? Can you sense how craving begins to loosen its grip when we see that we're not actually empty, but already full in many quiet, invisible ways? As you do this more often, you'll begin to notice the difference between a true need and a fleeting desire. You'll see that some purchases are just distractions in disguise, and others are driven by fear or insecurity. This practice of awareness and contentment doesn't mean you'll never want nice things again, but it means you'll be free to choose, not pressured by invisible cravings. You'll be able to enjoy what you have without being enslaved by what you lack. And here's a question worth reflecting on today. What would your relationship with money look like if you weren't afraid of not having enough? Really sit with that. What might change in your daily choices, your peace of mind, your relationships? So, the lesson today is simple, yet powerful. Reducing craving is not about having less, it's about needing less. When we begin to notice and gently let go of unnecessary desires, we open the door to a deeper kind of wealth, one that can't be stolen, taxed, or lost. Contentment is your treasure, gratitude is your shield, and awareness is your guide. Let this be your practice, not just for today, but as a new way of seeing the world. Number 3, cultivate generosity. Dana, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the more you cling to money, the more anxious you feel about it? That no matter how much you have, the fear of losing it, not having enough, or not being secure never really goes away. It's as if the tighter we hold on to money, the more power it has over us, and not in a good way. In Buddhism, there's a beautiful and often surprising antidote to this: generosity, or what we call dana in Pali. Now, I know this might sound strange, even a little backwards. How could giving money away possibly help ease money anxiety? But here's the truth that so many of us overlook. When we give freely, without expecting anything in return, we remind ourselves of something incredibly powerful, that we are not empty, we are not lacking, and we do have something to offer. You see, money anxiety often comes from a deep-rooted belief in scarcity. That belief whispers to us, "There's not enough," or worse, "I am not enough." And that fear can trap us in a cycle of hoarding, clinging, and worrying. But when we practice generosity, even in small ways, it interrupts that cycle. It's like a reset button for the heart. You offer someone a kind gesture, share a meal, or donate just a few dollars to someone in need, and suddenly the story changes. It becomes, "I have enough to share." And from that place, fear starts to loosen its grip. The Buddha once said, "If beings knew, as I know, the results of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having given, nor would the stain of miserliness overcome their minds." That's not just a poetic teaching, it's a psychological truth. Giving rewires how we see ourselves and the world. Think about the last time you gave something, not out of obligation, but from the heart. Didn't it feel light, even joyful? That's because generosity brings us back into alignment with something deeper than material wealth. It connects us with our own inner abundance. And you don't have to be rich to be generous. Your time, your presence, your smile, your willingness to help, these are all forms of dana. You might be surprised how often people are more moved by kindness than by cash. But here's where it gets even more meaningful. Generosity doesn't just help you with your anxiety, it also heals the world around you. In a time when so many are afraid, lonely, or struggling, your small act of giving becomes a ripple of compassion. And slowly we move from a society of fear and lack to a culture of care and trust. Isn't that what we all want, deep down, to know that we're not alone? So I want to gently ask you, where in your life can you begin to give a little more, not because you should, but because it brings you peace? What would it feel like to shift your focus from "what do I need" to "what do I have to offer"? These are the kinds of questions that open the heart and soften the fear. And if you're still unsure, start very small. Give someone your full attention. Share a kind word. Offer help when it's needed. Slowly, something starts to change, not just in your wallet, but in your spirit. As the Dhammapada says, "The fragrance of flowers drifts with the wind, but the fragrance of the virtuous person drifts against the wind. The virtue of the generous spreads in all directions." In the end, the freedom you're searching for doesn't come from getting more, it comes from letting go. So next time money anxiety creeps in, take a breath and ask yourself, what can I give right now? The answer might just surprise you, and it might just set you free. If this message touched something in your heart, drop a quick comment below with just 2 words, "I give," not because I have much, but because I know even a little kindness can ease someone's burden. It's a simple way to affirm the spirit of generosity. No need to overthink it. Number 4. Mindfulness and letting go. When you feel overwhelmed by money worries, bills, debts, income, the future, it's easy to get trapped in a cycle of fear and overthinking. But Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us we don't have to become the anxiety we feel. Through mindfulness, or sati in Pali, we learn to sit with our thoughts without clinging to them. Imagine your anxious thoughts like leaves floating down a river. You don't need to chase them or hold on to them. You just notice them, acknowledge them, and allow them to pass. This is not avoiding reality, it's meeting reality with calm awareness. When we practice mindfulness, we create a little space between ourselves and our thoughts. In that space, there's freedom. So what does it really mean to let go? Letting go doesn't mean giving up or pretending money doesn't matter. It means loosening the tight grip of fear and control. It means recognizing that clinging, whether to past mistakes, future fears, or even the identity we've built around wealth or poverty, is a source of suffering. In the words of the Buddha, you only lose what you cling to. This is an invitation to pause and ask yourself, what am I holding on to so tightly? Is it helping me or causing me pain? Try this simple practice. Find a quiet place to sit. Close your eyes gently. As you breathe, allow yourself to notice any thoughts about money that arise, whether it's a fear of not having enough or anxiety about the future. Just watch them, like clouds passing through the sky. You don't need to fight them, fix them, or figure them out in this moment. Just breathe. Feel the support of the ground beneath you. Realize you are not your anxiety. You are the awareness that sees it. When we begin to see our thoughts clearly and without judgment, we create inner balance. And from that balance, we can make wiser choices, not driven by fear or desperation, but guided by clarity and compassion. This is the heart of Buddhist practice, being fully present with what is, and from that presence, responding skillfully. Money is part of life, yes, but it doesn't have to define our worth or rob us of peace. Can you imagine what your life might feel like if money wasn't a constant weight on your chest, but just one part of a fuller, more spacious existence? So here is your reflection for today. What would it look like to relate to money with mindfulness instead of fear? Let that question rest in your heart, and when worry arises again, as it surely will, come back to the breath, back to the body, back to the present moment. This is your anchor. Number 5. Right livelihood, Sama Ajiva. On this path of understanding how to ease money anxiety, especially as we explore it on May 9th, 2025, one profound yet often overlooked teaching from the Buddha is right livelihood, known in Pali as Samma Ajiva. This is the fifth element in the Noble Eightfold Path, a guiding light in the Buddha's teachings for those seeking not just enlightenment, but also peace in the everyday rhythms of life. Right livelihood encourages us to examine the way we earn a living, not only in terms of income, but in terms of its alignment with our values, our peace of mind, and the impact it has on others and the world around us. The Buddha advised one should abandon wrong livelihood and enter upon right livelihood. This is one's duty. What does this mean in our modern world, where the workplace often feels like a pressure cooker of deadlines, financial insecurity, or ethical compromise? Many people between 30 and 65 find themselves stuck in jobs that pay the bills but drain the soul. When our work causes chronic stress or forces us to act against our inner values, money becomes not a support for life, but a source of suffering. This silent contradiction often fuels the anxiety we carry about money, not just because we don't have enough, but because we're earning it in ways that unsettle the heart. To begin untangling this, take time to reflect deeply. Does your current livelihood align with your sense of right and wrong? Does it bring a sense of dignity and peace, or does it create inner conflict? Buddhism does not demand that everyone become a monk or renounce their careers, but it does ask us to pause and investigate whether what we do for a living causes harm to ourselves, to others, or to society. The Buddha discouraged livelihoods connected to weapons, living beings, like human trafficking or exploiting animals, meat production, intoxicants, or poisons, not to punish, but to protect the mind from the guilt, violence, and instability these paths often bring. Today, that teaching can be broadened to any job that compromises our integrity or inner harmony. For example, if a marketing job constantly pressures you to manipulate others, or a high-paying position in finance leaves you emotionally hollow and disconnected from your family, these are signs worth listening to. As the Zen saying goes, when you seek happiness for yourself, it will always elude you. When you seek happiness for others, you will find it for yourself. In this way, earning with compassion naturally eases the anxiety that comes with money. It's not just about what we earn, but how we earn it. We live in an age where many feel they must sacrifice their values just to survive. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us that peace of mind is also a form of wealth. Sometimes making a small shift, a new job that pays less but feels more meaningful, freelancing with ethical clients, or simply adjusting how we relate to our work, can bring profound peace. Money earned with mindfulness and ethical purpose brings a different kind of richness, a life of fewer regrets, deeper sleep, and a heart at ease. The great teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Our own life has to be our message." Let your way of earning, however modest, reflect your inner clarity. When you align your livelihood with kindness and wisdom, money anxiety slowly begins to dissolve, not because your bank account is overflowing, but because your soul is no longer starving. By seeing right livelihood not as a rigid rule but as a compass for the heart, we empower ourselves to make choices that are not only financially sustainable, but spiritually nourishing. Every step toward this alignment, however small, is a step toward peace. And remember, peace doesn't always come from changing your job overnight. Sometimes it begins with changing how you show up for your current work, with presence, with compassion, and with the courage to ask, is this the path that leads to freedom? When your livelihood reflects your deepest values, anxiety loses its grip, and in its place grows a quiet, steady confidence that you are walking in the direction of your own liberation. Thank you for joining us on the journey of wisdom. As we've seen today, lucky numbers are more than just digits. They're spiritual signals, inviting us to align our intentions, take mindful action, and trust the deeper flow of life. Whether you resonate with number 9's transformation, 23's courage, or 44's quiet strength, remember, real abundance begins within. If this video brought you insight or inspiration, please support our journey by liking, sharing, and subscribing to The Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next video filled with teachings to guide your path. Until then, may you walk gently, live mindfully, and receive the blessings already waiting for you. See you in the next video.